Hi there. I want to have I think it's an important talk. I touched my face. There you go. And it's about Corona. And I'm wearing right now my Silence Equals Death t-shirt because back in the 80s, I was part of a gay movement, I guess. This wasn't anything that we wanted to do. But a lot of people had to fight the AIDS virus. And I came to New York in 1985 from Michigan in order to be part of what was going on because I knew it was affecting the people who represented me, and it was my community, and I needed to be there. And I met my husband because of that. And I lost a lot of people because of the AIDS virus. And it was the juxtaposition of a lot of the things that people are not supposed to talk about. You know, we're not supposed to talk about sex, politics, and religion. And yet sometimes those three things all come together. And it's perhaps the only thing that you can talk about. Or it's necessary to talk about them all. And right now, I want to talk about sex and the coronavirus. When kids are out there in Boca or wherever, and they're partying, and people just call it partying, they're doing a disservice to what's going on, and they're not having the proper conversation that needs to be had, and I'm mad about it. I'm mad that people aren't really taking the responsibility or the wherewithal, they're not thinking about it, and having the conversation that needs to be had. So when people are off partying, and that's a nice euphemism, out on Boca, when Bobby and Susie and everybody else gets back home, you think that it stops there? What kind of naive crap is that? Bobby and Susie are hooking up, right? And when they come back, or maybe... And no, they're no longer hooking up with strangers or whatnot on Boca. They're on Tinder or Grindr or some other thing hooking up. Or maybe people went off as couples, but they're not married, but they're young. They're young. And they're going off and they're doing what they're doing. And they're touching this and touching that, and they're touching each other in the car outside of Kroger as they're getting groceries for grandma. So the conversation that needs to be had also is about sex. Because even though I was married for 30 some years and I don't have a husband anymore, but I consider it marriage, even though it was from we couldn't get married till 2014. I considered it marriage. But from what I remember about sex is that it doesn't happen from 6 feet away. And what I know about young people is they're not stopping. And they need to. They need to. And no one's talking about it. Because, it's just too difficult, isn't it? And so the churches aren't talking about it. And the media's having a problem. I'm sure they didn't have a bit of a problem in Asia because they were probably much more concerned about the family and the whole thing, and that it was much more thought through. But we have a problem politically talking about sex. We have a problem and about intimacy. And we have a problem talking about it when religion comes into play. We have all these problems, but we've got to get it together. So, on Grindr, on Tinder, on all these social apps, there should be a warning, just like there was at the bathhouses back in the day. You know, you've got to know when you hook up with somebody, like in the AIDS epidemic, you've got to think, I am hooking up with all of these people and having sex with all of the people that the person that I'm having sex with has already had. But when you're with Susie in your car, doing whatever at the grocery or however you're meeting, you're still bringing back all of the germs, all of the viruses, everything else from all of the people that she has been with. So you've got to social distance yourself more. And this is a conversation that I wanted to have.